Hello everybody, welcome to my review on The Flash show. Yes, I know that it is coming to an end in its 9th season, and I've already watched like every episode that's come out until now. And personally, I just want to say that The Flash has lost its edge. If you watch the first season and then you go until now, you will not recognize the show. Personally, this was one of my favorite shows when it's in the 3rd season. Arrow is my favorite show of all time, and so I was really excited to see The Flash because The Flash is my favorite superhero of all time, and I want to say I'm like kind of disappointed in it. Not with the acting or anything, just the writing of it. The writing of it is just really lazy. Things just come back all of a sudden, and then just nothing gets explained very well anymore. This new season is kind of like bringing it back up for me since we're gonna have star appearances from Stephen Amell and probably a Cobalt Blue. I'm very excited for that, but the thing is, the show is just lost me. This is supposed to be a review on the show, and I'm just slandering on it. So let me just talk a bit about what I'm saying. We have the first season, an incredible season. The first 2 seasons are just beyond incredible. There is nothing I can say. This is what literally gives the show meaning, what makes the show really good. Just having these types of seasons where you don't really know who the villain is, and it's not like the Fast and the Furious where it's just all about family and we're all a family, we're all friends, we all have all of this. No, it's like generally trying to figure out who the man in yellow is, who Zoom is, and then we're just trying to figure out how the Flash is going to beat him. The Flash becoming the Flash is just one of the most amazing things that you can see. You have a Eobard Thawne that really does have a good motivation, and he just wants to get back to his time. You then have Zoom, which is an extremely good just villain to scary, and he has all these redeeming qualities about him that just make me love Zoom. Zoom was one of my favorite villains up until recently. I started liking the Reverse Flash a lot more because he's had a lot more exposition, and I feel like he has a lot more of like a villainous arc other than Zoom, because Zoom was a hero and then he was a villain in the show. In our eyes, he was a hero, then he was a villain, and so you just never get over that type of betrayal. But you don't get over the betrayal of a mentor, not like the Reverse Flash. We then go into the 3rd season where it starts to get a bit more into godly stuff and ancient stuff, and it was still a really good season. The only thing is they went for the speedster route 3 times in a row, and it wasn't that, like, when we got revealed that who Savitar was, it wasn't that much of a surprise, honestly. Like, he says it like 20 billion times who he is, but nobody really like looks at it because you think that the punctuation is there, and it really isn't. And then you just have like some really good episodes, like the future episode that was really good, and then you have like where Savitar says who he is, and all of that just happens. And then you have just a few places where it kind of falls flat, like how Iris takes down Savitar, which is just weird, saying that Iris was the one that was supposed to die to Savitar the whole time, and then like she shoots him. A speedster. She shoots a speedster. That's not supposed to happen when the Flash can literally catch bullets. When Zoom had the Flash in his hand and he was catching like I don't know how many rounds, but he caught all of them just with one hand. That's crazy. And then you just have a speedster that just dies to one bullet. It kind of lost me a bit there. And then we have the 4th season, the Thinker, a really good villain. In my opinion, he was really overpowered, which was just something completely unthought of, because the Flash wasn't supposed to take down the Thinker. Like, just being completely honest, just saying that, oh, love is the reason why I beat the Thinker, it's just stupid. It's someone that has every single power known to mankind, and he just beats him because he actually loves people, not like the Thinker that just thinks fast. Which, by the way, in season 7 or 8, the Flash becomes super speed thinking, and he basically just becomes a Thinker, but without all the different superpowers. It's just really weird. Personally, I liked DeVoe a bit. I thought that he was a good villain. It's just it kind of lost me with some of what the Flash was doing. The Flash in prison for just 3 episodes, and then getting out of prison. It was just a really weird show. I really liked Ralph Dibny. He was a really good introduction, but then we know that Twitter started uncovering things from the past of every single actor in person ever, And so now we just have a Ralph Dibny that can't act anymore just because, everyone decides to look into his past, which is his past. And the whole show is based on redemption arcs and, the villain becoming a hero, or, someone that you didn't know that was going to be the hero being an unlikely hero. It was just kind of hypocritical. I know that some people are going to be like somewhat offended and taken aback by that. But it was like 10 years ago that he tweeted those things. He shouldn't have done that in the past, but I do think that there should have probably been a bit more of a story arc with Ralph Dibny, other than just firing if you fire the character, you should be able to hire a replacement. That's just what I think. But hey, they just didn't want to do that because of continuity's sake. We then go into the 5th season. There's nothing good I can say about the 5th season. Nora is okay. The Flash's suit is terrifyingly bad. It's just a really mid season. I liked Cicada at first. Cicada at first was menacing. He could take away the powers of metahumans. He was really you didn't understand his motivation. But then we get into the second Cicada, and then it's really, we literally had a good Cicada, and then we have a super overpowered Cicada that is just mad because there are metas, although his dad was a meta, and it doesn't make any sense. That season just lost a lot of people. I think that's the season that most lost people. The first half of season 6 was really, really good. I really liked it. I thought that Bloodwork was a really good villain, and I didn't think that they were leaning too much into the family love side. They were kind of trying to keep it level-headed, trying to bring the people back, and I really liked it. But then the second half of the season was just, again, oddly, terrifyingly bad. We just have, Eva McCulloch being the mirror master, and she brings Iris through the window, or through the glass, and then she brings other people through the glass, and then the Flash becomes super smart, and he has to decide who he wants to take out, and then it just has a lot of filler content that I don't think that a show of this high standard should have that much filler content and that much just cheesy type of content. You have Arrow that, yes, he did have something of love and something of these types of relationships, but it was a really good show all throughout, unless we're discounting the season where Damien Dark is in there. I don't think they should have mixed magic, but hey, the idea there was good. Everything there was a really good concept. It's just the Flash lost it completely by the 6th season. The second half of the 6th season, I just didn't understand it. The Flash losing his speed, always. He's always too slow. He's always trying to do this. It's not the Flash. Then we go into the 7th season. Again, there's not much I can say. The CGI was terrible. The idea was terrible. A lot of the acting was just terrible. The first show had the first episode had me very happy to see the flashback. We have Abracadabra coming back, but then he dies in that same episode, and it's just a big disappointment. The show just disappointed me throughout there, because then we have all the elemental stuff, and I'm the avatar of the Speed Force type of stuff, and then you have Eobarthon becoming the negative Speed Force avatar, and so then you just have all of this fight between avatars, which carries on to season 8, which personally was just another season that just it lost me a lot, because you have the kids of the Flash, Bart and Nora, super unlikable in this. You have Cisco coming back. Well, Cisco left and then came back, which was good. I really like Cisco, but they just kind of lost me with him, because he's no, I don't want my powers anymore, but I'll make a super suit that I can still have my powers, and I just don't want my full powers. It's hey, you can still be Vibe and still have a life. You can be a superhero and still have a life. Most people that are superheroes still have lives. I don't understand why we can't just have that type of continuity, but no, I guess the actor wanted to leave, which was a very normal thing. I can understand that if the actor wants to leave, then he can leave and then come back in cameo appearances. That's great. But we also have Thawne that leaves. Kavanaugh that leaves. We have all of that, but it just, I feel it all just fell really flat in this. And now we have the 9th season, which the first half of it, it actually did kind of piss me off. Not too much all of the other things that I've talked about to this point, but it did kind of annoy me. The fact that we had such a good show, and this is the last season, and they decided to do a really bad impression of Batman with the Red Death. If you don't know who the Red Death is, it's basically just Bruce Wayne gets like Speed Force, but he like gets like the negative Speed Force, so he's like evil now, and like he's supposed to be a really menacing villain. And we did have like a good fight scene between like the Flash and the Red Death, but the CGI was kind of like bad. But the fight scene idea was good, but like it's just the Red Death wasn't a good villain. Like you could just tell that like there was no basis for it. I just didn't really like the Red Death and how they were. Like they were teased in season 4, or like no, since season 5, I think. Yeah, when they say that the Red Death was like this big metahuman serial killer and he killed a lot of people, and the Red Death was never caught, or like no, the Red Death was caught. Cicada wasn't caught, but you would just have like this whole build up to the Red Death, and then we just have this like letdown of a Red Death. Hopefully the rest of the season turns out good, because I'm really hopeful for it. You know, we have Stephen Amell making a return. We have Cobalt Blue coming up. We have like leaked photos of like Savitar, the like Zoom, the Reverse Flash. We have all of this that looks like it's gonna be very good, and like a 3-part finale, which I just hope it's really good. I just want to like take a second and talk a bit more about like specific episodes that either make me really happy or piss me off. In the first season, like I said, everything just made me really happy. I really just like the intro, like how Barry doesn't know who the Reverse Flash is, and the Reverse Flash just being this menacing character. I really liked it when Zoom went up against like Barry, like that final fight, and then we also have that one time that Zoom caught the lightning. That was extremely menacing, and I thought that was just extremely good. Again, like against Savitar, the season kind of lost to me a bit, but I think that the best part of the season was definitely whenever Savitar says who he is. I just really like that part where like you see the big reveal, and then like how it like goes on to the next episode and how they're just talking. I feel like that's just a really good way to like show it. We then have or if we go back into season 2, we have when the Flash lost his superpowers, and I thought that was a really good thing. When he got his superpowers back, he recreated the particle accelerator explosion to give him the powers back, and I thought that was like just really strong. DeVoe, just like that one fight scene that he has up against all the guards, and he shows how overpowered he is. That was really cool. Cicada, I'm not gonna say anything good about that. They honestly messed it up a lot. Personally saying, Bloodwork, I just think that the acting of like going from a good guy to a bad guy, like descending into madness, was a really good idea, and I really enjoyed it. Then we go into season 7. Not much to be enjoyed there, not much fun to be had there, just a bit of just weird stuff all throughout. We then have season 8, again, weird stuff all throughout. I guess like it's just very interesting to see like Barry being a bit more mature, but I like the immature Barry. I like the Barry that thought that nothing could get to him, and so he had Eobard Thawne, which it was Professor Wells at this point, like just telling him what to do and how to be a bit more mature about it, just so he can keep the timeline intact. I thought that was very interesting, but we've strayed so much from the original like set stuff that it just feels very flat. You tell me what you think. If you've even watched the entire show, just comment down below what you guys think has happened to the Flash. If you're happy that it's ending, if you wanted it to go on for longer. Personally, like a few years ago, I would have said, let's keep this shit going. It's gonna be great. But now, knowing what I know, I think that the Flash should just rest in peace. I like that one meme of like Barry, you know, I think that we should just let it rest in peace, and that's that. Thank you everyone for watching this episode. I know that it's a bit more of a like just boring topic, just because I'm just ranting about how much I used to love the Flash and now I don't really like it very much. But hey, if you haven't watched the show, you should definitely watch the first 3 seasons at least. Those are amazing. Just know that like maybe at the end of the 3rd season you're gonna be hopeful to see more, and then you'll get a bit disappointed. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix, so you should definitely go watch it. You should definitely subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below if you've liked the Flash show. I personally did. Now I don't really. But hey, I'll see you all in the next one, and I'll probably make another video on the Flash whenever it does end, so that I can talk to you guys a bit more about how it ended once we actually know how it ends.